And good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of Crit Test Dummies. We are on episode 6. Yeah, episode 6 now of our series Chronicles of Ghaistala, working out of the sourcebook Supers and Sorcery, available on drivethroughrpg.com. If you're joining us for the first time, this is an original, independently written source book for D&D 5th edition, written by Daylight. I always want to say Productions for some reason. Daylight Publications. There we go. Led by Cameron Day. It is a kind of mishmash world of traditional fantasy and superhero tropes. Fun times. Last week, our quartet tamed a couple of hippogriffs, as you do. One a tawny and golden hippogriff that they have dubbed Nutter Butter, and the other one a white one with black feathers on black tips to its feathery wings that they have dubbed, of course, Oreo. Riding the hippogriffs and nearly falling out of the sky off the hippogriffs, our quartet went back to Asha mining town, found Henry's mom and warned her that she was under watch and an impending danger while the group was being blackmailed by Dumo Asha. Failed to warn anybody else about this and promptly left.
Not failed, it was part of the plan.
Sure. Before we get started, and on the next part of this adventure, as they head southward into the Darnan Forest and towards Beacon on their quest mission that they've been blackmailed into doing, let the guys introduce themselves and their characters, starting with Chris.
I am Shah Raw, a shadowy, inquisitive, question-asking rogue who likes to lurk and hide and never quite reveals their true selves to you.
So, rogue. Alex. I know, just...
I play Echo, a Goliath barbarian, and I'm on the path of growth. Now that I'm level 3, that we all are level 3. Yes, and I'm
cool. And Alex's audio cut out in the middle of that. I'll let him deal with that while we go to Patrick.
It is me. I will be playing, as always, Abby from Eberron. That's why she's called Abby. She is a tamer of hippogriffs at day, also food of hippogriffs, and a queen of cats by night.
Nice. And finally, Luke.
And I am Henry Kinnevar. I am the only person that was actually born in the mining company.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, currently trying to not die and
trying
to save his mother and his friends. Warlock Hexblade is what I am.
Nice.
I think.
Real quick, I forgot to hit record, so I can change these into podcast
recording
later.
In progress.
There we go. So, our quartet has decided to ride the hippogriffs off into the sunset. Off into the afternoon, really, because it's after your little morning flight into Asha and back. It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon on this typical early fall day. So kind of equivalent to late September, early October right now. And as you gather in the mountains of the Grey Rise, about a 20-minute walk outside of Asha Mining Corporation, considering your next options. You have about a week's walk if you were to walk to get to Beacon. Possibly less, riding the hippogriffs. And in between you and there, the only other large settlement is Hearthfire, somewhere in the Darnan Forest. which three of you, Echo, Shaw, and Ebby, have been through at various points, some more recently than others. So, the sun is climbing through the sky. What would the four of you like to do?
Well, are we determined to look for this professor or not?
Patrick is muted right now.
Oh, sorry.
And is muted again. We're off to a great start. Effie, you're unusually quiet today.
We have to get to Beacon first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where we're going. I guess that's the plan.
I guess we hope for the best. I mean, we still don't have a plan for what happens when we don't do that the marshal's bidding, because your peers are still in danger, right? For now. But we have time, and we have fast rides. So...
At that, one of the hippogriffs, Nutter Butter, just kind of nudges up against Ebby and kind of pokes his beak into your pouch looking for more food.
This is not gonna last forever.
Ah, stop it!
The bribery can only go so far. I mean...
Is there some hungry hippogriffs?
God damn it. Take an inspiration for that.
Thank you. I'll take it.
Sucker for bad puns.
What's that?
Now I know.
It's just so awful it was good.
That's what
As Oreo comes up and nips at you for the bad joke, what are you all doing?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Such a hypocrite.
You already have inspiration.
Oh, true.
Well, are we just heading there, or is there any other plan?
How far was it? 2 days?
So to get to Beacon itself is about a week. Hearthfire is slightly closer than halfway, so on foot it'd be approximately 2 to 3 days, and then from Hearthfire to Beacon it's approximately 3 to 4 days, depending on how fast you travel.
Let's say we travel on Hippogriff. How fast would that be?
Considering none of you have traveled by flight before, anywhere from slightly less to half that speed to, oh, maybe we'll get there in an hour. Make a survival check for me, please.
I haven't traveled, period. I'm pretty lost right now.
Yeah.
21?
21. From your experience and your tracking background, animals that can fly, because they can just go in a straight line, especially through a forest, not having to weave around trees or anything like that, you could probably cut the time about in half.
Cool.
If you were to just
good.
go. So that's now approximately day and a half to get to Hearthfire. Bear in mind it's early afternoon at this point, so you'd still probably want to camp somewhere. And 2-ish days from Hearthfire to Beacon, assuming you still have the hippogriffs through that.
Do we have
You could.
any idea what's between here and there?
Forest.
Okay.
All of you would have come, with the exception of maybe Ebby, with either a caravan or with merchants or other things. It's not generally considered safe to move through the Darnan Forest on your own. Beyond the typical bears and such, there are stories of larger creatures that tend to
What kind of
roam.
creatures?
They're colloquially known as kaiju.
I cast Locate Kaiju.
It's not a proper type of creature. Like it's not like beast or fey. Unfortunately, you can't do that.
Are they beasts?
You don't know. You've never met one, and you've been in this world for a grand total of about 3 weeks.
Do I? Hey, you guys know of these creatures, or do you know anything beyond their body size?
I mean, the largest creature I've seen till now were these flying horse things. So,
Okay.
Spent most of my time in the city.
So-
I mean,
far
I've
to get
seen
lost
plenty
in the
of
middle of nowhere.
canaries and cats and occasional dog. That's about it.
If we fly high enough, then we could probably avoid them.
The problem
Presumably,
is coming.
unless they can fly, then
Most
we're
of us
fine.
don't know how to fly.
I'm not sure my nerves can take much more flying, to be
My
honest.
body can take much more.
But we went
Oh, God.
through so much trouble acquiring these mounts. Why would you leave them here?
Because they scare the shit out of me?
At that, Oreo just kind of comes up next to you and nuzzles up against you.
Nice bird horse thing.
It just kind of playfully nips at just kind of behind your ear a little bit.
Good. What are these things called again?
Hippogriffs.
Griff pose.
Hippogriffs. That's such a it's kind of a mouthful, isn't it?
So if you are scared, then you can ride on my back, and the other two ride on the hippogriffs, maybe.
It's not about being scared, it's about not being very good.
Oh, it's definitely about being scared.
Can we like make some sort of makeshift saddles with like blankets and ropes?
You can certainly try.
Didn't I already rope myself to the one hippogriff last time?
You've done some rope. You made kind of a rein system, or at least a handle system, for them last time. You don't have saddles per se, but you did kind of make this harness thing that kind of goes under the front legs of the hippogriff and over the shoulders and front of the wings, so you can hold on to it without interfering with its ability to fly. So that helps.
Well, I mean, if you'd rather walk, I'm sure we have enough time to save your probably not in a lot of rush, right? So we can just take our time, and maybe we'll get back in time, and we'll solve this thing.
Can these hippogriffs
Is she
fast
being
on the
facetious
ground?
with me right now?
can they not fly and still move fast?
I mean, yeah, they have, like, looking at them, there seem to be a mix between an eagle and a horse, and they've been moving around fine on all fours around you while you're having this discussion, and when Ebby was taking care of them earlier in the day.
It's also an option.
You don't know how fast they can move, but they certainly seem fine on the ground.
How about this? You guys stay on the ground, and if we get to a forest, we fly above the forest, and if you fall off, you fall into the baldachin. It's not that that dangerous then.
How about you fall into my dagger, and that's not that dangerous.
Oh, calm down, everybody. I think we can take the beasts and. I mean, not the most dangerous thing we've done so far, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I died by trying to feed it.
You didn't die.
It
Briefly.
knocked the shit out of you. Well,
I'm just
So
saying.
what you doing?
We have a bit of a time
Both
pressure.
Oreo and Nutter Butter are kind of starting to paw the ground and pace around a little bit. They seem...
which one was I flying with the last time?
I don't remember.
Nutter butter, but
It was not about that, yeah.
Both of them are kind of like searching through bags. They're seeming to be looking for something to do or something to eat.
I give Nadabutter one of my rations. They're omnivores, right?
They don't seem to care too much what you feed them.
Alright. There goes one more.
I do kind of like the idea of riding them, maybe, see how fast they are, and if them flying is significantly faster, then maybe we address that then.
I try to talk to Nadabutter a little bit, saying like, "You're not gonna throw me off, are you? We're friends, right? I feed you. You let me ride you a little bit. What do you say?"
Make an animal handling check. That's what he says.
Sure, it's not a persuasion check.
I'm sure.
Oh,
18. Nutter Butter, after you feed it, Oreo kind of looks dejected because Oreo's been the one that's been with you a little bit. Nutter Butter just kind of comes in and like shoves Oreo out of the way and just like head up against you. And it's this weird, it's not a cooing sound that you're used to from Boba, your canary, because it's much, much bigger. But you recognize the kind of just about 3 octaves deeper from this creature.
Jesus.
As it nuzzles up against you and kind of, you see the eyes turn towards the satchel that you pulled the rations out of.
This is going to backfire.
Good birdie, good birdie. I give
Oreo, meanwhile, has wandered over to Shaw.
I will start stroking its neck. What?
that sounded like I start stabbing him.
That comes later.
There's a moment of tentativeness because Oreo sees that there's no food in the hand. But once you start petting them, they kind of, okay, I can accept this and lean into it a little bit more.
Can't keep feeding it forever, so yeah.
What you doing?
I like the idea
I
of
think,
trying to ride it.
I'm gonna try to hop on Nadabutter.
Okay. Yeah, Nutter Butter, easily. It's done it happened a couple times now. It's used to your weight. Just kind of, and you see as soon as you're on, the wings open up a little bit. As Nutter Butter looks towards Oreo and towards Ebby, kind of, are we going? Are we going?
Yeah, I transform and then wait for Echo to hop on, and then I'll take off.
Alex,
Alex.
cannot hear you. My apologies. Told you the wrong thing a second ago. So we sort our microphone issues. Shaw, what are you doing?
I'm going to attempt to ride it like the horse side. And yeah, just see...
So you're going to get behind the wings instead of in front of the wings?
Yeah.
Okay, so earlier you had been sitting up in front of the wings.
Yeah.
Kind of up on the front shoulders of the creature. So yeah, you can try and get behind, make an animal handling check.
He's trying to die again, huh?
Well, at least it's
That's
less distance to fall.
Yeah.
Plus, hang on.
16. Oreo looks up back up at you. They don't try to buck you off, but just looks at you, and you see the wings kind of spread a little bit, and you see your legs are kind of in the way of the back feathers.
Maybe later.
And just kind of looks at you like, what are you doing? This is not right. I don't like this.
Don't like it either, but I prefer it down here than up there. Maybe I'll kind of make that sort of gesture, like...
The hippogriff just blinks at you with its 2 intelligence.
I got nothing to say.
Give it some food.
We can't endlessly give them food. I mean, it seems to not for like 3 days.
Okay. So you're mounted on the back of Oreo. Henry's on the back of Nutter Butter.
Didn't you guys specifically got a lot of food from the butcher shop in town so we can do this?
Oh, did we? Okay.
Oh yeah, we bought some meat from the butcher shop. Oh, Alex can hear us as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Check your sound settings, Alex. If you switched headphones or exit and join again, we'll just have to redo the videos here.
Yeah.
Ah! Gotta love technology, folks.
Okay, the
Great fun.
video is going to be temporarily really weird.
Yep, then that's okay.
Maybe we'll switch to...
Anyways, so we're all now mounted up. Don't bother switching. It'll be okay. Eddie, what are you doing now that they've kind of mounted up on the backs of their steeds?
I sort of like fly ahead and into the direction that we want to go and be on the lookout of like,
Okay.
large monsters that manage to peek through the woods. The top of the woods, yeah.
Yeah. Still having a few audio problems from Alex. So, 2 seconds here while we try and troubleshoot that. Oh, Patrick and Alex. Okay. So, first of all, there. Second of all, typing notes. I know, exciting to watch people sort audio issues. Was working when we first started. So, Evie, well, Echo silently rides on your back as you head up into the sky. Oreo and Nutter Butter, who have taken to Ebby's Sphinx form as their leader on these past few trips, immediately jump into the sky as well.
I hold on tight.
Yep. Henry, because you're on the front where you have set these handles, I'm not going to ask you to do another animal handling check. This is not new for you at this point. Shaw, who got on the backside where there were no handles anymore. Can you do an animal handling check, please?
All right, prepare to die for a 4th time.
You haven't died yet. You've just gone unconscious a few times. That's all.
23.
23. You are fine.
I rule you.
You slam yourself onto the back of Oreo and reach forward to the rope. So you're now just laying on top of the back. You cannot see anything, but you're surprisingly comfortable where you are, just letting Oreo go where they're gonna go. Looks like we may have Alex back. Nope, I'm getting a head shake no, which tells me he can at least hear me. So we're getting progress, at least in that respect. Okay, so as you three take to the sky, Ebby, you're in the lead. Can I get a perception check from you, please? 18, Jesus. Yeah.
Starting.
You set off into the sky. And can I get you to roll 2d8 for me, please?
Uh-oh.
Not that bad.
I just remembered from the last game we played when we rolled random stuff.
My fault, you guys roll like crap.
5 and 8.
5 and 8. As you start making your way south towards the Darnan Forest, you see the canopy actually start to make a canopy, going from this scrub brushland, these hardy plants that can survive higher up in the mountains, and short coniferous trees. You start going further south as the day moves on. An hour passes, 2 hours pass, and you see spots of deciduous trees their leaves starting to subtly shift into the shades of yellow and orange as you enter early fall up high in the mountains, mixed in with the pine trees that are more common this far up. So you continue going further and further down. Two things catch your attention. There's, first of all, a clearing off to the southwest that appears would make you recognize that would make a great campsite. It's just open.
I was going to say, what time is it?
It's still early. It would be early to camp. It's about 5, 6 at this point. Mm-hmm. But this is a good campsite. You also notice starting to the thinner trees as the canopy is forming, the pathway that you're sort of following on the backs of the hippogriffs. You see through a break in the canopy what looks to be an overturned cart. You could choose to investigate it or simply continue flying.
Guys, there seems to be some sort of roadside accident. Do you guys want to check it out?
Does it concern us?
Could be a trap. I don't know.
Can you guys hear me?
We can! Yeah. Echo's back.
Oh.
Hey.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay. It happens.
Let's check out the accident.
Fine.
I mean, we don't have to. I kind of have a tendency.
You are a bundle of energy, aren't you?
Maybe we
Like,
should.
why does it concern us? But sure.
Well, we could find something useful, you know?
Yeah, like abandoned.
What if you were in an accident? Wouldn't you want to have strangers look out for you?
Flying down on hippogriffs?
Well, it doesn't matter what they're riding, it's what they're doing, eh? If they're attacking with the
Fine.
hippogriffs, then yeah, probably not. Come on, guys, let's check it out. Could be something.
All right. I'll start to descend.
And as they have learned to do, Oreo and Nutterbutter start descending after you. Henry holding on tight to the makeshift harness that they've created. Shaw still kind of planted on the back of Oreo, holding on. You slowly make this spiral descent. And as you go down, Henry and Echo, you can make out the cart as well. And as you descend towards the top of the canopy of the Darnan Forest, you spot a few bodies nearby as well. Do you want to land all the way or just kind of hover a little bit? Hippogriffs do have the ability to hover.
When you say bodies,
I mean, as you get within about 30, 40 feet, which is about the top of the canopy here, you can make out what look to be 2, maybe 3 dwarves. They are not moving. You cannot tell much more from here.
Can we like?
are they lying on the ground
and-
or are they standing?
They're lying on the ground.
Okay. You see that?
Oh yeah.
Approach with caution.
Yeah, let's do a few circles and keep an eye out. Perhaps we can see something. It's interesting, though.
So, I have a technical question,
Yes.
dear GM.
Yes. Oh boy.
If I wanted to tell if someone was faking something,
That's going to be either an insight or a perception check. I'm also going to say you're at disadvantage because of how you are currently mounted on your hippogriff.
yeah, I was thinking as we got a bit closer, but like within kind of.
Until you dismount or sit up, which would then require another animal handling check,
I'll
it
do
will
at
be a disadvantage.
I'll do it at
Okay.
disadvantage because I have this. I have a new ability that means I can potentially
Ooh.
treat low rolls as higher rolls. So let's see.
Oh.
Gotta love rogues.
I don't know why it didn't roll twice, even though I asked it to. So I'll do it again.
Just roll again.
So
11.
that would be 14.
14 total. Okay.
Wait, you just rolled a d20, didn't you?
No, it's fine. It's fine, Luke. So with a 14, they don't appear to be faking it. Of whatever they might be faking, they are unmoving. You're 30 to 40 feet up. I'm not entirely sure what you want out of this.
For an ambush, but yeah, that's good.
I have a question as well. I have an ability called Danger Sense. Does that involve me feeling off if there's potential danger ahead or something like
What
that?
does it say?
It does say that, but then it says that it gives me advantage on dexterity saving throws, so I'm not sure.
Yes. So what it actually does, it's basically designed for ambushes and stuff like that. It's kind of like Spidey sense.
Yeah.
So it's not like a long way out, like you're circling here. It's like, oh, this something feels off. It is. You hear the twang of the bow before you would possibly see the arrow, so you're able to dodge out of the way, something like that.
So it's
Does that mean I can make weird flying maneuvers with you on top of me?
Yes, yes, it does. Please do.
Who said that?
I'll normally descend down to where the cart is.
Okay. As the as the air patrol lands, Oreo and Nutter Butter immediately begin kind of sniffing around and start approaching the two bodies that are immediately visible to them.
I'd like to.
And
That's one way to find out if they're still alive. They're
I'd like
faking
to
it.
survey the forest line.
are you staying mounted or are you getting
I'll
off?
jump off. I'll jump off.
I'm
and
also jumping off.
potentially, if there's
Okay.
even something to hide behind, like survey
Okay.
the forest line.
Okay. There doesn't seem to be anything off. It's just the normal as you descend into the forest, and the sounds that you couldn't hear from up high start to come more into focus. You hear the birds. You hear the breeze through the cool autumn breeze kind of through the leaves and the needles of the pine trees around you. Nothing appears to be off except for the two bodies on this side of the cart, and you know from your descent there's a third body on the far side. Oreo and Nutter Butter, as soon as they're released, start going towards the two closer bodies, sniffing, poking with their beaks. And then almost in unison, both of them take a big bite out of the arms of the two dwarves.
Stop them.
That's not polite.
And just
Oh my god, these. Good thing I'm not a dwarf.
and then take another bite because they're not being stopped by anything. This is a free meal for them.
Oh, bad bird.
Whilst they're dealing with
Stop
the
it.
animals, I'd like to go and check the cart.
Okay.
I transform back into Abby, and I try to stop them a little bit. Like, no.
Okay.
We need to check them first.
Ebby and Henry, can you please make animal handling checks at disadvantage as you're trying to stop a wild animal from eating mid-meal?
I was gonna say I would use one of my rations to try and trade, so to speak.
Okay, so that will cancel, so just make a straight-up animal handling check.
Alright. My special.
I have a 7.
Yep.
7. Cool. So as both of you take 7s, and
Sorry, I can use my inspiration to reroll, right?
that is correct. If you want to use it on this, go for it.
Alright, let's try this.
10.
The 10.
As you both come up, Henry towards your Mount Nutter Butter, Ebby going towards Oreo, they both take a second bite, swallowed down, and then a third bite, and then finally both just kind of look over at you. Nutter Butter kind of sees your rations, and you see the eye movement between the meat, the rations, the meat, the rations.
You can have it later. We need to check it first. Huh?
Takes one more bite of the dwarf before trotting over to you for the rations. Oreo takes another bite as well before kind of finally turning towards Abby and realizing that you're there and what you're trying to get them to do. You see this like strand of dwarf muscle hanging out of its mouth as it looks over to you with this look like, what?
I'm like, hey, good girl.
Oreo, we've talked about this. Stop it.
But they eventually trot back over towards you, scarfing down the last little bits of meat that they'd torn off of these two dwarves.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Birds gotta eat.
Let's check around, huh? Let's check out these dwarf gentlemen.
Okay, group invest. If you're all checking out the scene, could I get group investigation check, please?
Oh, this is my suck at this. Oh no, not that bad at this actually. I am bad at this.
9 for Henry.
16.
10 for Echo. 16, Abby. And for Shaw, a 14. Henry, you're a little distracted by Nutter Butter, and you have your hands full just trying to keep Nutter Butter out of the scene and from destroying anything else.
I'm just distracted by a forest, man. I haven't been to the forest yet.
The fact that there's trees, actually, you would have never seen deciduous trees.
What tree now is that?
So deciduous is the trees that the leaves change color.
Oh, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. So coniferous, up further towards the mountains where the trading company is, there's some small stunted trees that high those are the needle trees, like Christmas trees. As you've gone further south and further downhill and it's gotten slightly warmer, the trees have gotten bigger, and you've also started to see these patches of deciduous like oak and elm and those types, maple trees popping up. So yeah, this is all brand new for you, Henry, and you're a little unfocused.
Amazed at how clean the air is. It's like it tastes.
What you looking at? It's just a tree.
Echo with a 10. It's some dead bodies in a cart. Not really sure what you're looking for, so that's about all you get out of it. Abby and Shaw with a 14 and a 16. You pick up a few more things. Number 1. This cart seems to have been picked clean. Either it started empty or whatever was there is now gone. There doesn't appear to be any damage to the cart itself, besides being turned over. There are also no horses, no donkeys. There's nothing around that would pull a cart. The dwarf bodies that you see, the two that have been mangled by the hippogriffs, there's not a lot there to tell, besides there's a body, very, very much dead now. But they're armored, like guards. You also see on the third body that was untouched because it was further away from the hippogriffs that decided they were hungry. To be fair, the hippogriffs were flying extra weight for a couple of hours.
Yeah, give them a break.
I'm not saying you can't eat. I'm just saying they should wait a little bit.
The third body, you see seared scorch marks across bits of the exposed skin. Beyond that, there's no obvious injury.
It's a dragon.
Are there any
Guys!
marks on the cart, like a company logo or anything?
Nope.
Is there any salvageable armor and weapons?
the armor that the dwarves are wearing, the two that the hippogriffs got to is now torn up a little bit. Those beaks be sharp. The third dwarf, has a set of what looks to be studded leather armor. All three of them are carrying basic short swords and small crossbows as well.
But none of us wear the armor, right?
It is dwarf-sized, so none of you could wear the armor.
Is there like, are there any like animal tracks around?
Make a survival check for me, please.
Yeah, I realized my picture is frozen.
Yep.
I'm changing my cell phone camera. 24. Sorry.
24 for the survival checks. Yes. There are one set of horse prints. Horse footprints that is of a shoed horse that leads off into westward, directly into the forest.
All right. I'm gonna need 10 minutes, and I cast locate animals or plants to look for that horse to see where it is.
What's the range on that?
5 miles.
Okay. You feel on the very edge of the range of that a presence of a horse towards the west. It's actually towards the direction of the clearing that you also saw earlier.
I relay that info. Say like, hey, you remember the clearing where I said like would make for a good resting place later tonight? There's a horse. I'm not sure. I mean, horses come a dime a dozen, but I didn't see any closer horse anywhere in the 5 mile radius, and it matches with the direction of the prince, right? Did it? Yeah.
How do you know that?
I just I sort of like you would have seen me like put my hands on the ground and then put one of my ears towards the ground as well, like you sort of do when you're listening for trains on train tracks.
You also, as you stand up and relay this, you catch the horse is heavy. It made very deep footprints through this and broke a lot of limbs. It left a trail. You also catch, with a roll of 24, a couple of sets of smaller footprints that look to be of humanoid origin, of either a child or perhaps a halfling, gnome, nobles, a smaller race. There appear to be multiple of them, but you're not sure how many, anywhere from 2 to 5.
All right. So
they are also headed towards the west, though not necessarily with the horse. They're just also going that direction.
So is it fair to say that whatever chart these dwarves might be like humans or something like that?
That must have been a dragon.
Why?
Humans don't spit fire.
Have you heard of magic? I can spew fire.
Just fire.
Yeah.
Always magic.
Can't Henry cast a magic spell with fire himself? Like that?
Sure, it could be magic, but could also have been a dragon.
Sure, there's humanoid footprints all over, and these people have been robbed, so I don't know why you would think it's a dragon, but we look out for dragons.
I don't know. Dragons love treasure, don't they?
Yeah, but
could have taken that.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe.
I'm pulling a leg, mate. I say all that while I'm looting the book.
I don't think there's anything to take.
So again, there's the one set of studded leather armor you could take, 3 short swords, 3 hand crossbows with 5 bolts each, as well as bits and pieces. You see some pouches that could hold coin that are empty.
Oh.
I'll take a few crossbow bolts.
How many? There's up to 15 that you could take.
10. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take the studded leather and the short swords.
Okay. Mark it in your inventories.
3 swords, right?
Yep.
I have a question. Do we recognize the dwarves or their armor by any chance? Are
It
they?
is unmarked. The dwarves are kind of nondescript. Two of them are now a mess. The one that isn't such a mess, you don't particularly recognize, and there's no markings as far as a trading company or a militia or a mercenary group. They are just, I don't know, there's nothing really descriptive about them.
Would we recognize if they came from the mining corporations or?
Not necessarily.
Really? Okay.
There is a insignia that most of the paid guards wear. These dwarves do not have that on them. Shaw, can you make an intelligence check for me, please? With your background, I'm going to see if you catch something.
Sure. Yes. Just straight up intelligence.
Yes, please. 14, good enough. Most guards that are paid to transport goods like this are either part of a company and would therefore have their insignia, or they are working independently. That's also a possibility. People hire adventurers all the time. This far out, they could be either independents, working for low-level independent merchants, or they could be independents that have been hired by Gear, which is a company of essentially archaeologists, people that are exploring the past of this new world. Or they could be smugglers that do not wish to be identified in any way, shape, or form.
So I'll relay pieces of that. And, well, I mean, we could make pursuit and find something valuable if we're not in a hurry.
Or we could find the murderers of these people, right?
Well, I guess they will both be in the same place.
Yes.
And we should head to the clearing anyway, right? It's a good place to set up camp.
But we should go there covertly if we can.
Covert,
How?
our middle name.
Maybe
Chris,
not
you're
barge in
on
there.
mute, I think.
Sorry?
If you were saying something, Chris,
I just said covert is my middle name.
Shaw, Covert, Roar.
I would say
intentional that
we
you
know
did
where
that.
the clearing is, so maybe we descend a couple like a mile before that, and then head through the woods and go slowly. Leave the hippogriffs along with some meat somewhere safe, and then we go there on foot.
How far away did you say the horse was?
Like 5 miles.
5 miles should be.
I would
Yeah,
say
we
we wait as long as it takes, so that we arrive during twilight.
Perhaps we ride the hippogriffs without flying.
I mean, yeah, but we would have to go on foot to not make any noise if we are approaching the clearing anyway.
Of course, but for like a few miles, because 5 miles away it would take us about an hour on foot.
Yeah, definitely. And while we talk about this, I'll druid craft some pockets of earth and make like some shallow makeshift graves for dwarven bodies.
Okay. Yeah, that takes a lot with Druidcraft. You're essentially trying to mimic Shape Earth right now, which is a higher level spell. So moving enough earth to bury 3 full-size dwarves is not really a cantrip, or at least not one that is a short cantrip.
Yeah, mold earth would have been perfect, but I don't have that.
Yeah. So you could do that, but it would take you approximately, I'm going to say half an hour to an hour.
The plan B, I'm just gonna pile them all together and produce flame and give them like a fire burial.
Okay.
That's what they probably would have liked.
As
All right.
the 3 of them are moved together, Oreo and Nutter Butter just stand by you, and as you're piling their meal together, and then as you set the meal on fire, Nutter Butter and Oreo just both turn to you with the most betrayed look on their face, their bird-like faces, which it's hard to show emotion on a predatory bird face, but they managed to show
I
the
tossed them
betrayal.
some good berries.
They both grab the good berry granola bars out of midair and kind of give you this look like, this is not the same.
Don't we have a bag
As
of
the
beef?
smell of burning hair and the ruined leather burning starts to fill your nostrils. It's a special smell. It's like barbecue, but bad.
Why did
I'm
you do
gonna
that?
make it less harmful for our noses with Druidcraft and sort of like make some wind to go chase it away.
Move the sit downwind a little bit. As the hippogriffs kind of circle around and they stand downwind so if they can at least enjoy the smell of cooking flesh.
Oh, wow.
They're wild animals. What you want?
Yeah, my point.
And yeah, they don't burn quickly. Produce Flame's not going to be like cremation level fire. But they do eventually start burning down, and you know that they'll continue to burn for a bit.
We should go. Whoever there is probably going to see this.
Or smell it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's definitely a plume of smoke starting to go up into the sky.
Let's get moving.
Okay. Heading westward into the woods on foot.
Yes.
Okay.
On hippogriffs, right?
Mhm.
Can we just ride them, so to speak, so they don't fly?
You have noticed that in the past they have followed Ebby. Whatever she has done, they have followed.
Yeah, I think that's what we discussed, right? Go through the woods until like we're a little bit closer. And I think like after we have made like 4.5 miles, something like that, I'll do another locate horse spell.
Okay.
It costs me 10 minutes because it's a ritual, but I think it's worth it.
So as you go westward, are you going in Sphinxy or just as Ebby?
Yeah, in Sphinx form.
Okay. So you turn to the Sphinx and start walking off. Can I get an animal handling check from you, please?
From me,
Yeah. So you were wanting them to follow after denying them food.
I made them
Good
full
berry.
with good berries.
You have most recently denied them food.
Well, okay.
8. You start to walk off, and they follow you for a few steps, and just you see the heads kind of go up into the air again as they wander back towards the cooking bodies.
I stroke Nutter Butter a little bit. I know it's terrible.
Do I notice as well?
I assume you're on foot, so yeah, you can notice that.
Okay, so I would take some of the meat that we bought at the store, and I'll throw a bunch of venison to each of the hippogriffs.
Okay, make an animal handling check with advantage, please.
Yes, sir. Oh no.
10. 4.
Oof.
So with the 10, 10's not awful. You've kind of split their attention. So they chew the venison and they kind of look towards you expectantly. Look back towards the bonfire, dwarf bonfire. Look back to you.
And I take some more venison out of the barrel and I feed them a little bit more.
Okay, now they start following you.
How much do these beasts eat?
Is what I
Look
want.
at them, they're gigantic.
I mean, they
Yeah.
are like good berries. They should be full for the entire day.
Their stomach is probably my size.
They're large mythical beasts that you are forcing to be mounts at the moment. They can eat quite a bit.
We're not forcing them, we're convincing.
And you have now convinced them further with more meat. Can you please mark on the barrel 2/3 full? That is now 2/3 full.
Yeah.
The barrel of meat or what?
The barrel of venison. It's not an endless supply of venison for those guys. Now then,
What?
you continue off westward into the woods. Can I get a survival check from whoever is in the lead?
I think that would either be me or Echo on top of my Sphinx form.
One of the two of you are, yeah.
23.
23. You know exactly where you're headed. You have spent lots of time tracking in the woods. And even though you've never really done so in the form of a Sphinx, you know how to follow shadows. You know how to follow your general sense of direction, weaving through trees and around outcroppings and through the ridges.
That was my job in Eberron, so it tracks.
Through the ridges of the lower foothills of the mountains as they meet the forest here. It's not a problem. You're heading due west in a beeline towards where you located that horse. About 3 miles in, you spot the clearing that you had seen before coming up ahead of you.
3 miles, did you say?
Yep.
I'd like to start scanning the tree line again.
So the horse is past it. Okay. Make a perception check, please, Shaw.
Yep.
And Echo as well, please, actually, since you're mounted on the lead.
God damn it. 6.
6 for Shaw. Y'all are rolling great today. 19 for Echo.
Actually, I do believe this relates to this new...
What's the new feature?
No, if a creature is lying.
Yeah, this is a general perception check.
Yeah,
There's nothing lying to you. The tree is not lying. Echo, mounted on the back of Ebby. Ebby is following the tracks and the direction towards the horse, tracking that. And as you approach this clearing up ahead of you, you spot with a 19 past the clearing about another, it's hard to tell how far, but some flickering light and some sort of structure. Maybe 100 meters, it's hard to tell. And you're not sure whether the light is from a fire outside of that structure or coming from an opening or window within it, but there's something there.
Is it like a solid structure, or is it more of a camp, a tent, or something like that?
You know, with a 19, it's a more solid structure, something that's been there for a little while.
Okay, so I raise my hand, I tell the guys to hold it for a second, and I inform them that I can see a light coming from some sort of structure beyond the edge of the forest.
Could go take a look.
I think we should probably send Shah off by himself, right? You're pretty good at sneaking around.
Hopefully.
Well, it didn't really work out in the mansion.
In theory.
I've been known to sneak around a few corners.
So, yes or no? Or
What's the plan?
What do you guys think? What should we do?
I mean, if Shah doesn't want to go,
no, I'm happy to. I'll just go for it. It's fine. But what I'd like to do first, just in case it goes wrong, and you plan to at least freak the hell out of whoever's there, just in case, I'm going to take on the facial features of one of the dead dwarves.
Nice.
Okay.
a revenant.
Are you changing to dwarf stature as well, or keeping your full height?
I'm actually not 100% sure if that's how it works, but if possible, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can shapeshift into pretty much anything you want. That's
Can, yeah.
that's
So
your
yeah,
deal.
I'll definitely. This is why I wear generic clothing. Yeah, I'll take on the size of the dwarf as well, just in case.
Okay.
And at least if it's the
So
killers,
is-
they'll be really freaked out.
You become a dwarf. Does your ability change your clothing as well?
No, that's why I.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah.
So from what starts as not skin type, but fairly form-fitting travel clothing, shifts into this almost oversized tunic and trousers as your friend Shaw just shoo. And you've seen Shaw shift a few times now. There's something that's still always disconcerting about it. It's not quite melting into the new form. You can swear there's a shift, but it's almost like you blink and then it's just something different is there.
And off
I'm
I
never
sneak
getting used to this.
to attempt to kind of look through the window from a side, basically.
Okay. So again, the structure is on the other side of the clearing and then about another 100 yards.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Is anybody else going with you or are you all staying put?
I
I'm
think
Henry.
Well, I can
staying
sneak
also.
a little bit. So I could follow you if you want.
Okay.
Just if you need some
Okay.
help.
Can I get a stealth check from anybody that is going?
Yep.
I'm gonna stay a little bit behind him though, just so I'm still within reach.
Okay.
15.
That is a 13 from Henry and a 15 stealth check from Shaw. Okay. Okay. Actually,
I mean, did we discuss what you guys are gonna do if you find something interesting? Are you?
nope, and they already left.
Scouting, I guess.
I guess
Methinks that
I'm
Ebby
coming too then.
sometimes speaks Suda.
Okay. Ebby, are you coming in Sphinxy or in Ebby form?
In Sphinx form then, or maybe
Okay.
I'm coming in Sphinx form.
Okay, so make a stealth check in Sphinx form then. Echo, are you staying behind or are you coming as well?
I'm right at the edge of the clearing with the two hippogriffs. I figured that someone should look out for them.
Okay. So as they watch Ebby go away, it takes most of your considerable strength to just kind of hold them in place. And they pull against and want to follow and eventually find you see kind of the feathers and the fur on the back of the horse part and the horse tail just kind of settle down. It's like, okay, fine. And slowly they both turn towards you. And you see their eyes go towards your pouch.
Beats both of us.
And 18 for the Sphinx. Surprisingly, the very large Sphinx, I guess maybe not surprisingly because Cat manages to almost tiptoe their way around the clearing.
Coming through.
Yeah. You get close enough to kind of look into the window. Shaw, what meets your eye is, first of all, you see this small cabin-like structure. It's not really a full-blown log cabin. It's almost like a very well-built lean-to more than anything else. It's somewhere between the two. Enough to be permanent, but it's not fancy. It's not made by carpenters of any skill, really. But it'll keep you dry and it'll withstand some weather and keep some of the nastier things out.
Okay.
And as you kind of...
Oh, sorry. Okay.
And as you kind of creep up and kind of look through, which is kind of an opening gap in between some of the small logs that have been made to build this, you see on some makeshift furniture a gnome that is lying down. It's got black, almost raccoon eyes, and blazing, like almost buzzed blonde hair that is bright yellow, almost like anime colored yellow, almost unnatural. It's so bright, so yellow. And nearby him are two other gnomes that are just kind of sitting, rocking back and forth, staring in worry at this other one. Both with similar colored hair, but not quite as extreme. One with it kind of back into a braid that goes down to the back of the neck. And one of them just in kind of this like Matt Mercer waterfall of yellow around its rounded gnomish features with its pointy ears just kind of sticking out a little bit. And how long do you stay there?
Just for a few seconds. Just get the view, take it in, pop back out of potential view.
They don't seem to react to your presence. You're now just standing outside of this structure. So you see now it's kind of part of the makeshift of it. It's kind of 3 walls of stacked sticks, kind of Lincoln log style, but the gaps aren't filled in particularly well. There's some mud patched here and there. It's not great. And the 4th wall of it's an outcropping. So they're using kind of a rock wall for the 4th wall.
Are gnomes common here?
They're not uncommon in Ghaistala as a world. You don't know of any particular gnome colonies out in the forest.
But I would know what it was.
Yeah, you know gnomes. You've seen them before.
And then I come back to the other two and whisper, gnomes.
Gnomes? Do I know what gnomes are?
Yeah, all of you would know what gnomes are. They're not uncommon in this world. They're not a lot in the mining camp, but there were a few. And because Winnie being a no-bold, a gnome-kobold hybrid, you recognize some of the features there as well.
Are they
Just
generally friendly?
I was thinking like at least goblins. Huh. Did they look
Did they say anything?
Oh, 2 of them look concerned. The other one, that's about as much as I saw. I didn't hear them.
Did they look like they could have killed a bunch of dwarves?
Not really, but
Would Abby know that gnomes have a knack for magic?
Yes, gnomes are relatively common, Eberron, so yes.
Well, where I come from, they often, they don't have much of a stature, so they operate with more their mind, and they're pretty smart. They often tend to be able to cast magic where I come from.
Ooh.
and are
They can't turn into
generally-
dragons.
are they generally malevolent or friendly?
A little mischievous, but not malignant or anything.
I have an idea. What we could do is we could all 3 set up kind of an ambush inside, hide outside, while Mr. Shah here knocks the door with his dwarven disguise and says hello.
Abby, can you make an insight check for me, please?
See what their reaction is going to be.
10.
Okay, good to know.
If they're going to be like, oh shit, didn't we just kill that guy? Then we know that they're bad guys and we could knock them out, take
like
the shit.
I like the intrigue. I'm not sure if it's a good idea, but I like the intrigue.
I'm full of good ideas.
Unless anyone has a better idea, why not?
Are we sure that they're evil, or if they
No.
killed the dwarves? So maybe
we're not sure.
This would be a way to find out. That's what I mean. If they see the dwarf and then we see their reaction, they're gonna be like, oh shit, you're supposed to be dead because we just killed you.
It's worth a shot. Maybe we hide out here and wait to see how they do.
Sure. All right.
Could also just kick down the door and ask them, right?
Uh,
Yo, did you kill some dwarves?
Should we get Echo?
Yes.
Yeah. Bring him up.
Definitely.
I mean, bring him up whilst they. Yeah, let's give him. How long did it take us to get here? A couple of minutes?
Because you were moving a little bit slower and is going around to be less visible, about 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
You could stack these 3 gnomes on top of each other and still wouldn't be as big as him. Sure, we need him.
It'd be close.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get Echo.
What you doing with the hippogriffs?
So I guess I fed them a little bit more venison to
Okay.
keep happy. And
Mark your barrel as half, please.
yes, will do. 1 second. And I'm also petting them and trying to build a connection since I'm also coming from an animal herding background.
Okay.
I'm trying to establish some connection.
Can you make an animal handling check for me, please, real quick?
Can't you speak with animals as a barbarian, or is that a certain...
That's a particular subclass.
Yeah, I don't think so.
19. Jesus. Man, you're rolling well tonight.
Yes, he can speak with animals.
Yeah, you, in the absence of Ebby, they seem to be taking a liking to you. Whether that is because they like you personally or because they have determined that you are the source of tasty, tasty venison jerky, take your pick.
Probably the venison, but at least I'm taking a liking.
Don't sell yourself short, man.
I keep on petting them until Abby arrives.
Yep. So you arrive to find 2 very happy hippogriffs almost circling Echo and kind of nudging each other out of the way to get into the best pet and scritch position.
Do I notice Abby, or is she there yet?
Yeah, that's what Ebby sees as she comes up. So,
Yeah, I was literally just gonna inform him so we can get back to the other scene.
hey, what are you doing with the hippogriffs? That still hasn't answered that question yet. Are you taking them with?
No, I think we're just gonna leave them there, right? I mean, would they be opposed to being lined up against the tree trunk?
You mean tied up?
Yeah.
I mean, you can. Sure. They trust you too.
Yeah. Then let's park them there, tie them up.
Okay.
A little bit. And
You kind of
yeah, they're
create a line from the harnesses that you've made and attach them to 2 of the heavier looking trees, and they kind of give you a look. But don't seem to complain too much until you wander off. And they just get from Oreo. You just get this.
I say to them in their mind, we'll be back. Don't worry.
Okay.
We'll come back with food.
Okay. They don't really understand that, but calm down a little bit. Just kind of watch you leave. So you disappear into the tree line. Echo, I need a stealth check from you too, please, as you start making your way towards the cabin E structure. 10. Ebby, your sphinx form is almost snake-like, just gliding between the trees. Echo, coming behind. Every single step, you seem to find every dry, freshly fallen leaf. There's a few twigs here and there. It's nothing that you wouldn't expect to hear in a forest, but it's not particularly stealthy.
Fair enough.
Okay. Real quick.
I ask Abby, What's been happening? Well,
Yeah, I filled you in on the
Okay.
way.
As Ebby fills you in, about that time you reach the cabin lean-to structure. Shaw and Henry that have been there, you don't hear or notice anything different coming from inside. There's no reason to suspect that they've heard the approach of your two companions again.
all right. What
So
are
what
we
are you
gonna
doing?
Then, as they get a bit closer, I'll just frantically knock on the door and prepare some slightly accented common.
Okay. And you hear from inside, what? There's a... You hear a little bit of whispering. And then as...
Oh wait, I make sure to hide somewhere before.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
all new stealth checks from the three of you, please.
Oh, we said that we would hide to see the reaction of the
I know,
knocking.
that's fine. That's fine. Just stealth checks, please.
14. There you go.
Natural one.
Ooh.
Yep. I'll take that. So Echo, Henry, you find a fallen log that you just kind of army crawl behind. Your lighter body being easily hidden by that. Echo, you're a bit bigger, but you find a pretty large rock that you're able to duck behind. Ebby, you kind of look left and right and realize that you're a sphinx. And so your best bet is you just kind of fly up and like try to perch on a tree branch, and it falls to the ground with a loud and you just kind of are flying there in the air as the door opens. And this gnome, the one with the kind of thick hair coming down to the shoulders, kind of wild. Hi?
So
Kind of recognition.
let's just clarify in the instant. They didn't seem particularly surprised to see the dwarf, but they were definitely surprised to see everything else.
What the gnome sees right now is the usual forest scape that they're used to, with the additions of a sphinx flying in the air about 20 meters back, and a dwarf standing on a door at their structure in the middle of nowhere. And they seem surprised to see anybody. The sphinx is an added bonus. You see this gnome. You do not see the other two. You can see inside the structure now. It is a one-room building. There is some makeshift furniture, mostly like stumps and things like that, serving as chairs. Larger ones used as tables, some shoved together, with a couple of what look to be just bags filled with something, maybe needles, whatever else, serving as beds, kind of stacked up on the far side. The one mat that had been pulled out, where you saw the gnome laying still, is now visibly empty. Mm-hmm. The other dwarf is nowhere to be seen at the moment.
Oh, by the way, do we see the horse anywhere?
The horse? Nope.
No, the horse was farther away, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna continue with the ruse. Like, I was attacked
Hi?
on the main road.
By what?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
The main road is... What? What?
Do you?
I prepare an Eldritch Blast in case.
Whoa!
Just in case they attack him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm hurt.
Make a deception check.
I'm hurt.
Ooh.
18.
21.
Just then the gnome, you catch the gnome look behind him, towards one of the larger stumps that's maybe used as a table or something else, and look towards the empty mat and look back at you. How are you hurt? And he closes the door behind him and steps out to you.
Okay. I feel like something hit my head, and I can't quite remember any details, and yeah, just really confused.
Yeah, just sit down here. I'll get you some water. Just
Okay.
sit down against the wall here, and he kind of leads you to a spot next to the door and has you sit on the ground. He does not invite you inside.
Did you see anyone come this way? Maybe they killed all my friends. It's terrible.
No, you're the first person I've seen out this way in some time. Wait there. And he goes back inside for a moment. Closes the door behind him. And there's this shuffling that you hear, and you hear a whispered conversation behind you through the walls.
I assume in a language I understand.
Do you speak Gnomish?
No.
No. Okay. You hear something heavy shifting. A small, splashing noise. Something heavy shifting again. And then it comes out with this, chipped old ceramic cup that just has some water in it.
Okay.
Here, I don't have medicine. Here?
Thank you. I'm so thirsty. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sip at it very slightly.
Leave the glass when you're done, and he goes back inside.
Rude.
What do you mean rude?
And you hear
Very
another
hospitable.
whispered conversation from inside.
Well, I guess, because I can see them, can't I? The others in the party?
You can see the Sphinx that is still just kind of hovering in the air.
Well, I look up the Sphinx and just shrug, like...
I don't know.
I peek over behind the log. So, we kill them?
There is another kind of, you hear something else heavy shifting. The sound of something being dragged. And there's this kind of whispered conversation in this foreign language this whole time that's kind of muffled through the makeshift walls. And then something heavy shifting again.
Barricading the doors.
As the gnome kind of pokes his head back out again. Are you feeling better?
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. I lost my horse. You haven't seen or heard it, have you?
No?
I say in Shah's head, ask if you can use their bathroom.
Oh,
Or something that makes them invite you in or something. I don't know.
do I want
Improvise.
Oh, do you mind feeling
There's a scary big cat outside.
awfully cold?
The gnome is not taking his eyes off the Sphinx, by the way.
All right, he sees me. I come flying down.
Okay.
And he closes the door and goes back inside.
What's that? I shout. At the top of my voice.
And you hear yelling back from inside, I thought it was with you!
No, can I come in?
Make a deception check. please, Ebby.
Okay.
Aha.
Or an intimidation. One of the two.
10.
10. You know what? Yeah. Fine. And you see the door open as... and quick.
What, they let me in? Or
Yes.
oh, okay,
Aha,
right, okay. I
it
was just
worked
like
like a charm.
shuffle in, be like, oh my god, what was that? I've never seen anything like it.
It was behind you and wasn't moving. I thought it was with you.
No, I think it might be. Maybe it was attacked me. I don't know. I'm so confused. I don't
The
know.
thing with claws and a beak attacked you by dropping something on your head?
Well, there was so much going on.
He is just giving you this look like, what the hell are you? This dwarf in oversized clothing. You do notice, with your passive investigation, the third mat that had someone in it and then suddenly didn't is now also missing.
Okay.
And he drags another mat out, sets it against the back rock wall, and guides you over. And just lay down here. Hopefully the thing will go away
What was it?
eventually.
It was horrific. It looked like a cat, but not a cat.
Did we notice anyone leaving the cabin?
You have not. Shaw, now that you're inside and have a longer look at this place, this is a small space. It's not very large. It's like maybe 10 by 15 feet, give or take. You're now on one mat, taking up about a third of that back wall. In the middle of this back wall is a very big, what looks to be one of the tree stumps that they might be using as a chair or a shelf sometimes. In the other corner, against the rock wall, is a kind of flat piece of wood that looks like maybe an old board that's been scavenged off something. And you see a trickle of water coming down the rock wall along it. Looks like it might be the cover of some sort of natural well or pool that they're using as a water source. You see on the side of the door, which is opposite of the rock wall, just in and to the left, is another larger stump with three smaller ones around it. That looks to be kind of a makeshift dining area.
Okay.
And to the right of the door is a small chest that is currently closed.
Okay.
The breeze. This is a drafty place.
Yeah.
And with the water in the rock wall, it's somehow colder in here than it was outside.
Okay.
There's a fire pit in the middle, but it is unlit right now.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I said you saw fire. It's lit right now.
Okay. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, I haven't. I make it a point to not see things like that when I can.
Yeah, me too. I was just on my way delivering something, and then, oh, what a day! What a day!
What were you delivering out here?
We were we were on our way to Beacon, taking just supplies. Oh, I'm so confused. Taking things from the mine to Beacon.
Hey, that road's like... Oh, okay. You just rest here. I don't have much for you, so it's probably best if you move on, maybe back to the main road, and by the morning.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Do you think it's gone? Should we look and see if it's gone?
And he goes over to one of the walls and kind of peeks out. Ebby, have you left yet?
No.
No? And he kind of like slams his back against the wall. It's still there.
I don't know what to do here. I
I
mean,
don't know what to do either.
can I still talk to you? I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but,
Shaw, make a Actually, I'm gonna give this to you with your passive investigation. You're by that middle, larger like shelf or large chair thing against this back rock wall.
Oh, yeah.
You see some scuff marks along the floor.
Okay. How long have you been living here? How many of there are you?
It's just me here. 12 passive insight. He's very clearly lying. You don't need to roll for that. I'll take your passive for it. He is stressed right now. Whether it's from the Sphinx or from what you observed earlier with what appears to have maybe been his brother or one of the other people living here, the sudden appearance of you, he's not focused on telling the best lies right now. He's very clearly making that up.
I'm gonna circle around a little bit to see if there's like a window or a back door.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Henry's getting bored. He's also sneaking around the house.
The house itself has no apparent windows. Like I said, when you were peeking in, it was kind of like through cracks. Some larger than others. This may have been led to the kind of like flickering light effect that Echo had seen earlier. There is a door. It's not particularly well sealed, but it's there. Other than that, there's no obvious back door or window, and the last wall is a rock wall heading to an outcropping that the roof is kind of like lean-toed on top of. So it's kind of this like angle roof that goes up to the top of this rock wall that makes up the fourth side.
Well,
this is built to be easy to build and be out of the way and easy to hide in.
can I talk back to you guys with this message?
You can talk back to me. Let's say I activated it for you, yeah. So you're the one that can talk back to me.
I'll kind of just sit there looking like I'm just relaxing for a minute and say back to you, maybe I could pretend that some others survived, or just reveal that I know he's lying and we'll just see what happens.
Did he lock the door behind him?
Oh yeah, did he? I don't think so.
You take a look over. There doesn't appear to be... There's kind of a makeshift like lever that can be brought down to hold the door in place. From what you can see, a decent blow is going to knock it off, though.
Yeah.
I relate to Echo. We might need somebody sturdy to open that door, if you know what I mean. I'm currently talking to Shah about what we need to do. Sort of like say that to Henry too.
I already snuck off actually behind the house.
I still can talk to you. Telepathically. If it's not too far away. I think 30 feet.
I'm behind the house now. I don't know how far away that is.
Well, I mean, there's no behind because it's a rock wall. Unless you want to try and climb up on top.
Is there anything I could see that reveals the presence of more than one person?
Like, with your skills and your backgrounds, and the fact that you have seen them before.
Yeah, I know that, of course.
You know that they're there. There is no sign of them being in the room at the moment.
I've got it. Okay. It's funny. I'm sure when I was outside, I heard you talking to someone.
Talk to myself. There's not a lot out here. Guess I go a little crazy sometimes.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Should I freak him out?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. I say into the gnome's head. Hello.
You just see the eyes
I am the cat goddess.
wide.
Will you let me in? If not, I'll just blow your house away.
The gnome drops. It just you start speaking into his head. Make an intimidation check, actually, for me, real quick.
And I'll huff. And I'll huff.
Are we the baddies? 15.
You make it with advantage. He's already pretty freaked out.
It's not gonna get much better than that. 14.
Yeah, 14. So he doesn't pass out, but he does just kind of sit on the ground. It crawls his way over. It doesn't respond to you. Crawls his way over, opens the chest, and pulls out what looks to be a bottle of some sort of liquor that is about a quarter full, and just takes a big swig of it. No. And you finally hear this. It's spoken out loud. This very high-pitched, scared no come back.
Well, well, well. It is impolite and inhospitable to deny some traveler entrance.
I don't think you'll fit.
Let me be the judge of that. And I open the door.
Make an attack roll, please.
Hopefully the house won't fall apart.
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
Yeah, right?
I forgot how to attack.
Roll a dice, get a natural 20.
Yeah, basically. Collapse the house onto Shaw and knock him out again.
Oh, I think I have to attack as the Sphinx, right?
Yep.
I think there's 13.
Yeah, 13.
Yes?
11. Yeah, you take a swipe at the door and you blast it in. It is now splinters as you slam your claws into it. And it kind of separates into different pieces as this old reclaimed wood just gets pushed back. And the gnome's not wrong. This place is built for a gnome. You would have to squeeze through and it may not survive it. But there is now no door. As the gnome just... And he gets up and runs back and he stands on top of the large stump that is central to that back rock wall. And just... please don't come in. You might knock everything down.
Oh, excuse me. I change into Abby and I walk inside.
Do I know what she was doing?
I mean, you heard it.
All right. I mean, did I hear that he was gonna go in, or did I just hear her knocking the door down?
She was speaking telepathically, so all you would have heard is suddenly the door slamming open.
In the meantime, reacting to what Abby has told me, I came out of hiding, and right now I would be kind of, because I approached the door, getting like ready to break in or something, but then Abby did it first, so I'm like kind of just outside the cabin right now.
Okay, so this poor gnome now sees you as well and has just and pulls out a knife from his boot. And it's a gnome knife, so it's like, for you especially, Echo, it's little.
Just like,
I kind of laugh and I enter the cabin.
Please don't. That's not nice. I haven't done anything to you. Please just go.
I wait outside next to the door, my ear to the wall.
Just leave us alone.
Us?
Leave me alone. And you see his eyes just dart down and then back up to you.
Do you have a bathroom you can use? Or...
No, it's the forest. What's happening?
Would I have noticed his eyes looking downwards?
No. Shaw and Abby, yes. Passive perception. Oh, sorry. Your passive perception is 13. Yeah, you would have as well.
Okay, great. I tell Shad and kind of the group in general, he's hiding something. I think there's something beneath
I
him.
know.
No. No, it's just it's my favorite stump. I like to sit here and read. There are no books in this place.
Seeing as we're being honest now, I know there's 2 more of you here. What's going on?
I could ask you the same thing. What's going on?
Well, okay. How about we all just sit down nicely and be a little less scary and we talk this through?
I like less scary.
Okay.
And he just slowly sits down on the edge of the big old stump.
Well, just to freak
Still
him out
has
a bit
knife in
more,
hand.
I will shapeshift back to my normal self in front of him.
Make an intimidation check, please.
It's not that scary. Come
We'll see.
on. Oh,
19.
for God's sake. I get a good roll.
Yep. And with that, it's just that is the last nerve. And he just falls back against the rock wall. He's out.
I kind of walk up to him and first of all, I take the little gnome knife and I can push it aside, and then I place him somewhere on the mat. You said there were some mats, right?
Yep.
I place him on the mat, but right after I go to the tree stump and I try to move it.
Okay. It easily shifts out of the way, especially with your strength. It's actually surprisingly light. As you shift it, and you see what appears to just be a rock wall connecting to the floor. Can I get a group intelligence? Since you're all in the room, can I get a group intelligence check, please? Not a saving throw, just a check. $11 for Ebby, 14 for Echo, 13 for Shaw.
14 for Echo with a -1.
Gotta love it.
I'm not inside yet, so I don't.
Okay. So, Echo, you actually are the only one that notices this. Nope, Shaw, you just made it as well. Where the stump was, it looks to be a continuation of the just dirt floor of this place, but it doesn't seem to connect quite right. And as your brain adjusts to that and kind of looks at it a little bit longer and a little bit more carefully, you see through the illusion. And sitting in a tunnel below you, kind of at the bottom of this like 5-foot drop, is another gnome, the one with the braid, sitting next to the gnome with the black raccoon eyes laying down on a mat at the bottom of this pit, with the one that's still standing has a knife pointed up to you. Does not know that you've necessarily seen through the illusion, so just kind of crouched defensively as quiet as it can.
Illusion means it's a spell, or?
It is, that you have managed to see through. And with that is where we're going to take our break. So we will be back in 10 minutes. So our party has discovered a overturned cart that is empty with some bodies around it that seem to have been scorched and are now also torn to pieces by the hippogriffs. Finding some trails of some gnomes, followed them westward through the woods, also looking for a horse that went missing from the cart. You found this ramshackle, kind of decent, but not well put together, lean-to like structure against a rock outcropping, or rock wall, down in these lower foothills of the mountains in the Darnan forest, and discovered a trio of gnomes there. Upon investigation, one of them answered the door. The other two apparently not visible anymore. You proceeded to scare the crap out of that gnome by claiming to be a god of cats and breaking the door down. After that poor guy fainted from being scared multiple times, you found a secret compartment where they had hidden the gnome that was unconscious and the other one trying to protect them, hiding behind an illusionary floor that you have seen through, but he doesn't know that yet. What would you like to do?
I'm also going to walk in now.
Okay.
So since I can see through, I think I will try to calm the two gnomes down, or, well, one of them is unconscious, so the one gnome down a bit. And I'll say, we're just travelers in need of information. We didn't mean to. We didn't mean to scare you. We mean no harm. And I kind of reached down with my hand.
Yeah, sorry for barging in like this. I kind of feel bad. I didn't mean to scare you to death.
There is surprised by your hand coming down, and also your voice. Just takes a swipe with his dagger, misses completely. It's just kind of a stay away. And just, if you mean no harm, leave. Just leave us alone.
Well, we just have one main question. Did you attack anybody on the road? Honestly.
No.
Do you know what might have?
Well, it's complicated.
Guys, the reason we're here is we saw some dead dwarves on the road, and we followed their trail here.
They're dead?
Well, they weren't breathing.
Oh. Okay.
And
So you haven't
the only
come.
reason we're here is we thought it might have something to do with it.
Well, like I said, it's
more tactful.
complicated. Look, I mean, didn't mean to kill them. I didn't even know they were. I thought they were just.
So you did kill them.
I don't actually know.
I think we need to have a conversation, a proper conversation.
I think so too.
Why?
How about you?
You could just
No.
leave us alone. Why do you care?
We're good people. That's why we care.
Then why did you?
I did nothing.
You
That is
sent
true.
a cat monster to attack our home.
Hey, I have feelings.
Yeah.
How about you come up here? We promise that we won't hurt you, and we talk this out like proper people.
How about I stay here? Nanyan, are you okay?
He's
Where-
resting.
What'd you do to
He's-
my brother?
He kind of passed out. The cat monster and everything. We didn't hurt him. I promise you.
Why should
I'm
I
fine.
trust you?
Well, because it's 4 of us and 2 of you.
Make an intimidation check.
$16.
Yeah, I have bigger fingernails than your knife there.
We just want to talk.
Why didn't you just say so at first then?
I just did.
At first, before with the scary...
Well, we didn't know what we were up against. You could have been like powerful mages and stuff like that. We had to scout out.
Why would a powerful mage be living here?
Well.
Who knows? Just come out and let's talk about this.
Uh,
And I reach down again and offer my hand.
He looks back. He definitely does not take your hand. But he looks down at what you assume at this point is his other brother that is unconscious, and just kind of takes a blanket that's nearby and just kind of almost tucks him in protectively and just climbs up. There's a small ladder kind of inset into the stone that he just.
As he climbs up, I also say to him, one of our friends, Abby here, she's actually quite a prolific.
Thank you.
She can make some super awesome granola bars, which might be able to restore some health of your buddy there.
He's not hurt, as far as we can tell.
Oh, okay.
But it might be worth trying.
Not as hurt as the dwarves, that's for sure.
Well, what's wrong with them?
Are we sure that they didn't murder the dwarves yet?
They're not sure.
That's what we're going to talk about now.
I mean, yeah, okay. I give him a granola bar.
Just be right back.
I'd like to just say to Abby in her head, I get the impression that maybe one of them also changes sometimes.
The last one left conscious. Goes down, tries to feed the granola to his brother, and kind of does the forced chew thing that you guys have been doing to each other a few times.
Aha, so you mean like a were-gnome?
There's no shift. You hear, who's there? Abby, you're the only one. Abby, you do hear some mumbling from the other. That it's a different dwarf. Since you're not by the hole, you take it that it's probably the third one that's been unconscious this whole time.
Can I try to listen with the mumbling?
It's
try to make it out.
barely audible. It's almost like someone talking in their sleep more than anything else.
Wait, that's coming from the gnome that's unconscious?
Yeah. Since you're there, you can also see the mouth moving, but it's so faint that you don't hear it.
Okay.
If I enter their mind and make them be able to talk back, would I bypass their consciousness? Could I try to converse with them?
Is there a saving throw? Is there a saving throw involved in you forcing your consciousness into somebody else's mind?
Nope. Nope. There's a law against it in Eberron. My mind is my own. But we're not in Eberron.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
You're trying to enter the mind of the unconscious one, correct?
Yeah, I don't have any ill intent. I don't want to make him crazy like before.
There is, as you try to enter his brain, there is just a searing bright light that is almost painful to you, and not a lot else as far as conscious thought or anything else. It is enough to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
I mean, I guess mechanically I couldn't even enter his mind. I could just
we're gonna run with it anyways first.
My voice into him. Sure.
We're gonna run with it for story purposes anyways, because I already said it, so we're gonna do it.
Wisdom, yeah.
Yep.
I rolled twice. Never mind. It's already nat 20.
Nat 20. With that,
saving
you
throw.
almost
Oh,
saving throw.
Oh, well, then it's a 25. What?
Even higher. Okay.
Yeah.
25. Actually, with a 25. You don't get shoved out immediately. It is still, and doesn't actually hurt you, but it is painful to even try and project your voice into whatever space that is. And in that brief moment of connection, you hear, in what languages do you speak?
Common, Druidic, Elvish, and Quarry.
You do not recognize the language.
Okay.
but there is just, and it seems to be one word or fragments of a word that just get repeated a few times before you lose the connection.
Can I, even though if I don't understand it, can I try to understand what that word is? Like,
so you want to understand a random word that you've heard
no, I don't
in a
want to
language you don't
understand
know?
it. But even if I don't speak Japanese, I could mimic somebody saying something.
Oh,
in
just the
Japanese.
sound. Yeah, you can mimic the sound.
Okay,
Absolutely.
What is it?
Fuck you. Ski.
What's he seems not right in his head. What's ski?
And the other gnome just looks up at you. I don't know.
Inside check.
Go for it.
I don't even think you need an inside check to know that he's lying.
17 genuinely seems to not know.
Oh.
Is
Inside check.
what happened to your friend?
Like I said, it's complicated.
It's getting
It's,
late. Sort of like looks like we're gonna stay here for the night. Sorry.
Have you not
Okay.
noticed that we're also complicated?
Do you see my friend here? The now relatively harmless looking woman that used to be a giant fucking cat monster.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
that's
prolific.
what happened to the. Okay.
So I think I know her a little bit. She's kind of starting to run out of patience.
Why are you still threatening me? I'm not. I was about to. It's just complicated. I didn't know where to start. Can you leave, please? Just you.
Me?
Yes. Because you're the only one still threatening them repeatedly.
I'm like in your head. Don't worry, I'll tell you later.
I actually, I'm gonna misty step outside. I'm gonna go like, and I'm gone.
I need the three of you that are left to make persuasion checks, please.
I just had to do that. Sorry.
Yeah, and you just.
Yeah, I mean, don't worry. You can totally trust us.
22 for Shaw, 17 for Echo,
9.
9 for Ebby. I don't know who you are. I don't know why you're here. I don't. Could you please just leave us alone?
That depends. I mean, we're not going to eat you or anything or like hurt you, provided you are not
Kind of
evil.
find that hard to believe right now.
Like, calm down. Like, we just simply. Oh, let me explain. I'm trying to decomplicate this. We found the dead bodies of those dwarves, and then we localized you guys here as the closest point of interest, and you guys seem to have something to do with it. We're just investigating that murder.
It's not a murder. At least we didn't.
We don't have interested in like killing anybody. We just want to know what happened.
Neither do we. We just look. We're thieves. I'll admit that. And not even big things. Just food and from some shipments and just take rations here and there. Usually there's where the cart was. There's a kind of a hole there, and so we, like we did here, we just make it look like it's not there, and the wagon hits it, and usually we'll stop for a moment, and that's long enough for us to grab something. Yanbar grabs something and points down towards his brother that's in the hole right now. And there was this flash, and he yelled, and then the dwarves turned toward us, and they all pulled their swords and started yelling. And so Amba yelled again, and there was another flash, and then he was just kind of lying there, and we just grabbed him and we ran. There wasn't even that much in the cart to begin with, just like one bag.
I'm listening to all this from outside, by the way.
Of course.
So there was a flash, right? And then your friend was unconscious?
Yeah. He's been mumbling that ski, whatever.
And you were opening like a chest, or did you just grab the bag? Was it like, did you spring some sort of trap or anything?
I don't know. He just reached in, and then there was yelling and light, and then he was unconscious, and I guess the dwarves were... Oh, God. We never killed any... Did we kill them?
Maybe.
So you think the same flash that knocked your brother unconscious killed the dwarves?
I don't know.
Did you...
Ebby, flash of light and searing pain. This seems familiar to what you just connected to a moment ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well...
I'll also give you this as well. Echo, what is... Make an intelligence check for me, please. Actually, no, I'm just going to give this to you with your passive perception and make it a more wisdom-y thing. Gee, those raccoon eyes around the guy that's sleeping there, they look almost like tattoos, like what you have on your hands.
Oh.
On my entire body, you mean?
Uh-huh.
Interesting. Okay, so as I noticed that, I asked the gnome whether they got sort of... Oh, no. First I asked if they got the bag.
No. We were more concerned with other things. He looks down into the kind of hidey hole where his brother is.
Okay, the marks on your brother's eyes, did he have them previously to this whole incident?
No, that was another weird thing. They were just kind of there.
And I turn to my companions and I say, guys, I think he might have gotten in touch with the weird black stone thing that gave us our powers.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Weirdly.
Somewhere.
It also makes sense that these dwarves didn't wear any emblems if they were smuggling stuff like that.
Yeah. It has been finding its way to Beacon, that I do know. So, yeah.
And you guys didn't get the bag or the stone or anything like that, right? I mean, the stone would be vaporized after...
The ones that you touched, as far as you know, disintegrated into dust when they transferred whatever it was into you.
Most likely they weren't smuggling only one stone, though, right? They probably had a couple more. I mean, that's an assumption, but...
It's an assumption, but it's one that even you of the lowest intelligence in the group could pretty easily make.
Okay, so... while you guys try, I mean, he doesn't seem to be in control, the guy that has the powers now, but I don't think he's evil or bad. I mean, pretty much the same dude like we were a couple of days before. I'm going to step outside and try to look for that horsey again, because whoever got away might have more stones and might be on that horse. And you guys try to wake him up? I don't know if that's even possible.
I think I should go with you, Abby. This might be a dangerous bloke that we're talking about, so I think we should stick together.
Sure. Well, he's inside. I just wanted to go out to have some 10 minutes of peace and quiet to do my ritual. But sure. I don't know. Like he said one word that I forgot now. Key, something like that.
TSUKI.
TSUKI. But yeah, I said that out loud, and nobody of you seemed to know what that means.
Mm-mm. Actually,
I think we do. I'm just trying to find my notes.
do any of you speak Celestial?
I speak Undercommon and Dwarfish.
Nope. None of you have a clue.
I think it's a good idea to pursue the horse and the potential robbers, or
Well, yeah, because they could be spreading it elsewhere and causing even more problems. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but these guys here are dangerous, aren't they?
Probably.
But what can we do for
You hear outside through the cracks.
the guy that was turned by the stone? Can we cure him? Can we like stabilize him? Can we like give him the talk? Like, you have powers now.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think he just has to learn over time. It's only been a day or so. It'll probably.
Well, we got the
better.
same powers you hear from outside. And we didn't murder anyone. Well,
You all got the... What?
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
it's a long
but
story.
you don't have the eyes. Do you know what's going on with my brother?
Eyes?
Yeah, sort of. Maybe he might have, I think, touched some sort of magic stone that was possessed or something, and now some part of that stone is part of him.
So he's possessed by a rock, and then he killed those dwarfs?
Kind of.
Seems to be how.
If you phrase it like that, I mean, it sounds outlandish, but yeah, that's sort of it.
Is he going to be okay?
Yeah, probably.
I sort of like more say that to myself, like, yeah. It's like, I hope we're going to be okay.
We also kind of almost killed a dwarf, I guess. Well, he kind of killed us. All right. You just hear rambling from outside the house.
Okay.
So I mean, I could. I've been traveling with these three for a week. I do not have powers from the stone and have witnessed them change, and generally, they seem to have got control of themselves eventually.
But I do remember where we went, where we saw these stones first, and what that Domo guy said. There have been failed attempts. There have been accidents. Not everybody is like a match for that. I think there have been people dying from it. So
Are you saying that to the gnome?
Is this out loud?
sort of did, right?
What?
I don't mean that necessarily.
He's going to... How can we...
I'm sure he'll...
What can I do to help him?
I don't know. Would you like another bar of granola? I don't know.
Will it help?
Quick question. How many dwarfs were there?
There were 3.
I'm asking that to the gnome if there were 3.
3, 4. It was a little chaotic.
I mean, 4 makes sense if there was a horse that's also missing and the rider might be missing, right?
Maybe. It was also yesterday, so these woods aren't nice.
Okay, I'll be right back. Shit. I thought I could locate dwarf, but I can only locate if it's a beast or a plant. So unless dwarves are known for having some sort of special weed that they always like to smoke that I could target with that, I'll try the horse again.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, this is...
not within 5 miles any horse anymore?
Oh, sorry. I was saying no to the plant thing. It is within 5 miles. Appears to be about another 2, maybe 2 and change, now southwest of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I found the trail of the horse again. Turns out, southwest of here. If what we surmise checks out, then it might be one of the dwarves with like the contraband and maybe even more of these gems or information how to stabilize that guy, or like, I don't know. I don't think we find any more answers here. We can come back later. In any case, right? It's getting late, but maybe we can still check that place out where the horse is.
I think we should.
You're telling me he might die or turn into something else, and then you're just going to leave?
No, we're coming back to find a cure, if anything, because there's no cure here.
Okay.
You just make a do you have XYZ herb here outside growing, or like some? I'll do the Aragon like.
Yeah, do a nature check, please.
Yeah. Oh, not good.
4.
Well,
Not your woods.
Put some washcloth on him, and
Okay.
and then try to keep his temperature down. You know.
I'm not quite sure if I understand it. This guy just passed. That's the guy that passed out from fear, or passed out from something? Or?
No, the one that passed out from fear has been in the corner this whole time, and at this point, actually, now that you mention it, he kind of just sits up, sees the 3 of you, and sees his brother. Oh, good. We're all alive. I tried to stop the Myanros. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, got the names backwards. It's okay, brother. Go back to sleep. Just go back to sleep.
Anyway, I would try to like calm
the one still in the hole
to...
is the one that touched something.
And he's been unconscious the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Since at least yesterday.
Like super delirious and possessed. That's the one.
Big one, can you help? I don't want to leave him there.
Of course. I climb down and
it is a tight fucking fit for you.
Right. Do I reach though, or should I just reach in?
5 foot, you do have to get in, but you do kind of, and it's a little bit of, there might be a little bit of some scrapes along the poor little gnome's body from the rock walls, but you get him kind of around and hand him up to his brother.
I kind of like
thank you.
Squeeze him up.
And his brother places him on the second, kind of gently drags him over and places him on the second mat. It'll be okay. Just stay with us.
Well, yeah, I don't think there's anything we can do for him right now, but we might find answers and a cure. If there's no promise at all, I don't want to promise anything, but we can try to find out more. We sort of have a vested interest in these kind of answers anyway. So what say you? Shall we check that horse down? I'm gonna be honest. I can only track that horse down for so long. I mean, if it gets away too far, I do not know how to proceed.
Let's track the horse. I think we should do so.
And at this point, it's starting to get late.
Horses.
7, 8. You see the sun starting to breach the tops of the canopies. Long shadows reaching along the forest floor. So all 4 of you heading out towards the horse?
Do any of you need assistance in the dark, or?
I can probably see better than all of you.
It's not particularly dark yet. It's just getting late.
I mean, yeah, sure. It will be really late when we come back to this place, right? But
Probably.
if we don't pursue this lead, then it's gonna be gone.
Yeah. I mean, it's only 2 miles. You could walk there and back in an hour easily.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Assuming you don't get lost.
Abby, do you think we should take the hippogriffs in case we need to stay there or something happens, something unexpected?
I
I think
would maybe not. I would maybe keep them here.
right. Let me just go there and feed them a little bit more venison so they stay kind of like happy.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay.
All right. I just run
Echo,
over-
as you run over, you have an interesting sight when you get there. Oreo, the one that seems to be the troublemaker, is lying on the ground next to Nutter Butter, in front of Nutter Butter, further than the rope that you left him. You look and there's a sheared rope that he's apparently bit through or something, and just staring at his friend, annoyed for some reason. Nutter Butter is still tied up, and you see the horse tail start swishing when you come in.
Right. Okay. So I smile and I first I approach Oreo and I kind of like pet him on his head, and then I go to Nutter Butter and I actually untie him, and also remove the rope from Oreo as well, and give him a little. I pet him as well, and then I feed them some venison. And I just try to communicate. I also say it in words, but I also try to communicate that that we'll be back and that they should wait for us here.
Okay. Yeah, they like you well enough to. You're not sure how much of the message they understand, but they seem okay and happy for now.
Great. And the venison barrel is 1/4 full.
Let's call it a third.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Okay. So you start heading back. There's a couple of false starts where you start heading back and you hear the two of them tramping behind you. You have to kind of turn and repeat, try again, but eventually they stop following you and just kind of, you see them circle, curl up, and just kind of lay down.
Good boy. Good boy. And I kind of like.
And as you come back, four of you start heading off towards Horsey. Eddie, survival check, please. As you're navigating without a trail in
15.
a general direction. 15 is enough. Magic aided sight, at least helps you keep on the right track for the first several minutes of this. Gives you a direction. After about 20, 30 minutes of walking, you've gone maybe a mile. It's hard to tell through the woods. But you feel like you're on the right track. Another 20 minutes or so. And Evie, you hear off sort of close, maybe 100, 200 yards away.
I say telepathically, hurt the horse. Quick, what's the plan? Talking or ambush?
Talking to the horse?
No, the horse probably has a rider. Well, we should probably find that out, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'll whoever's the sneakiest, maybe you should check that out.
Everybody just looks at Sharp.
check out do what? So maybe be clear this time.
See what the situation with the horse is.
All right. I will duck in and dive in and out of the trees to try and get ahead
Hey,
of the horse.
hey, what's your passive stealth? I should know this for you.
My passive stealth?
We're going to be doing this a lot.
Is there such a thing?
Yeah, 10 plus your modifier.
10
Yeah, can you
plus my-
passive anything?
10 plus my modifier, 17.
17. Okay, yeah.
Holy crap.
For a lot of these things, we're just going to use that for you. Because I'm not going to make you roll every time you do stealth, because that's most of what you're doing. 17. You disappear into the woods. The lengthening shadows and darkening sky assisting you as you head off in the direction that Ebby points to. Just a few minutes later, as you slink through behind trees and through bushes, not making a sound, you spot a horse, riderless, no saddle, in a not a clearing, but slightly less dense passive patch of trees, enough so that there's some scraggly grass growing. Seems to just be happily eating some grass. It's black fur. Makes it you almost miss it in the dark because of the black fur, but catch a little bit of it. And there's a spot on its back left haunch that seems to. There's a disruption in the horsehair there, but you can't tell exactly what's going on from this distance.
Okay. So I see the horse, no rider, not even a saddle. But let me just quickly scan the surroundings.
Not even
Just quickly
like
look around for anything hiding in the trees, if possible.
I should clarify, there is some kit.
there's like a harness from like a
Yeah, there's a harness for like a cart.
Yeah, so I think it's
but there's no saddle. This isn't a riding horse. This is a pull horse.
The horse that pulled the cart. So I just quickly look around and see if I can see. I mean, anything in the trees. I don't know. I mean, it's getting dark.
Make a perception check for me, please.
But, yeah. Yeah.
10.
I mean, I can just in case. 12. Yeah.
12. Yeah. It's a pretty normal part of the forest as far as you know.
Yep.
You're not much of a forest person,
No,
but
I'm not.
nothing seems unusual at the moment.
I think it's clear. Proceed with caution, and I'll stay hidden with a crossbow handy just in case.
Okay. The rest of you come up?
yeah. I'll sort of like try to calm down the horse. I was like, hey, how's you?
Make an animal handling check at disadvantage, please.
So that's a 15. Hold on. Or a 7.
7.
I'm gonna
horse-
cast animal friendship.
Okay. The horse doesn't bolt, but starts backing away. Like it's nervous about you. But then you cast animal friendship. And it does just kind of look at you and start trotting up to you.
Oh, to you too. Hey.
And from this distance, now that it's up close to you, you can see that its back left haunch, there's a disruption in the horsehair there because it's not there. And there is a very slight sear, like the hair there has been burned off.
Yeah, that checks out. Yeah. Nothing else in this area, right? Are there any footprints?
Not that you notice, besides your own.
Well, maybe after all it was just 3 dwarves and a horse. Could be, right? I mean,
But the bag, where's the bag though?
the bag was not on the card anymore, right?
Correct. You did not find the bag anywhere, and the gnome said that they did not take it.
Does the horse have any sort of I'm not sure how to say this in English, but any sort of luggage or
Like a saddlebag or something?
like a saddlebag?
No. Mm-mm.
Can you talk to the horse? I said, maybe.
Well, as much as I can talk to the hippogriff, they are not that smart.
He didn't mean
Horse is
that.
probably smarter, to be fair.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Horse, where's your rider?
Looks over at you.
He doesn't know.
Or maybe he wanted to tell you with a shake of a head like, oh, he's dead. Or something. I don't know.
Would I know that the spell failed if that was an animorphed horse, like some druid like me?
I mean, you know when a spell works or not, so generally, yes.
Yeah. Well, here goes nothing. I don't know.
What?
I think that's it. We have no other trail. Either the gnomes are lying.
Should we keep the horse?
Let's take the horse.
Sure.
I mean, that must be worth a fortune, no?
No,
A
I
horse?
don't think so. I mean, it's a good amount of food for the hippogriffs, that's for sure.
I mean, I've only seen donkeys so far. Occasional mule, but a horse? That's kind of
There is,
exotic almost for me.
as you're discussing this, the final light of the day is starting to set. You probably have half an hour of daylight left.
Yeah, we should probably head back.
Mm-hmm. And as the sun sets and the sky darkens, all four of you hear a very loud I know my animal sounds are great. And as you look up, kind of in this less dense part of the forest, you see a giant bird flying overhead.
A hippogriff?
Nope. This appears to be a bird, just very big.
What the hell is that?
Rock and roll.
What kind of bird is that?
All of you can make a nature check, please.
I'll make
Anyone
a
that
nature
wants
check.
to.
Oh my god, I actually have plus.
Wow.
Wow.
Whoa! Natural 20.
With a
Nice.
natural 20 from Henry, 10, 10, and 13 from the rest of the group. 12 and 13. Henry, you're the only one that recognizes this from stories. Only from stories. And the
Rock.
fantasy stories of monsters, exactly. And other creatures that you have grown up on, fascinated with the outside worlds. One story sticks out to you of giant birds that nest in the mountains and sometimes fly far afield hunting. And that is indeed a rock. ROC, a
Is it
giant
rock
bird.
or roke?
I say rock, but I could. That's my pronunciation.
Oh, do you mean a rook? Or
It's
are
a
we talking
bird.
about?
I have no
Or
idea what
fake
you're talking
animal?
about.
ROC. It's a very big bird.
I don't know, yeah.
Like big enough that they can occasionally are known to hunt humanoids. Cattle, livestock are targets as well sometimes. There's mixed reports about how much is hunting and how much is scavenging.
I tell that to the others. Guys, that's a roke.
Okay.
I don't know how to spell it.
Does it matter?
Like a dragon bird.
You're
Is
obsessed
it-
with dragons.
Is it friendly?
In the stories I've read, it usually wasn't. So we should probably, avoid it.
Question, Henry. Do they have a tendency to pick up strange rocks?
Strange rogues, you mean?
Rocks. Minerals.
To none of the stories you've read or have heard have magpie-like behavior where they will just pick up shinies.
It's just a giant bird in the sky. Okay.
I don't
dead
think
carcasses sometimes, but not shinies.
What is it doing? Was it just flying by?
It was just flying by.
What's the horse?
Oh.
What's the horse?
You have noticed that the horse is standing very close to you now, Abby.
Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go home. To the gnome's home. Let's go
Let's go
gnome.
to the gnome's home.
Let's go gnome.
I mean, at least if it's that big, it can come down underneath the trees, right?
We should probably try to get away either way.
Yeah, let's bounce. Don't wanna stick around here too much.
Yeah, I think we should go.
Yep.
Are we taking
It's
the horse?
you. Do you take the horse?
It's a horse. I mean,
If you ask like
a lot of
this,
money.
it seems like an arrow to do so.
I'm just asking what you're doing. That's all I'm doing.
Actually, if
the
we
horse
have
seems
the horse
scared,
with
so I'm gonna
us,
take it with it. With me.
Okay.
if we have the horse, never mind. Go ahead.
You fashion a lead out of just a length of rope around its neck and start leading it back to the gnome home.
The gnomestead.
The gnomestead, yes.
Minus inspiration all round.
And psychic damage to everybody. So you take the horse back to the gnomestead. Thanks to the spell, it's a speaking of animal friendship, hey there, buddy. My dog's just off camera.
We were wondering.
Mine has apparently abandoned me.
As you take the gnome back, you are greeted by the flickering of the firelight inside the gnomestead through the breaks in their walls. One of the gnomes that you now know is Yan Yan, the one that was hiding in the hole that has the braided hair, kind of hears the clopping of the hooves and pokes his head out. Where'd you find a horse?
We just told you we went out to find it,
Oh,
and we have.
It's no
okay.
big deal. I can track down a horse 5 miles from here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's plenty of horses here in the woods. You can just go out and take one. It's fine.
Are you going to leave it? Do you plan on taking it inside?
Well,
No, don't be silly.
That's probably good. Are you staying here tonight?
We sure are.
oh, you guys. Well, if it's not a,
If you don't mind, we'd like to investigate your brother a little bit more and see
The
what we
big
can do
bird
for him as
outside?
well.
Investigate your brother.
I mean, yeah, his condition.
He turns back in. Ganros? And you somehow hear the other gnome shrug. I guess. Come in. And he leads you inside and to the sight of their third brother. Still haven't gotten their name yet. Lying next to the fire in the center of this room on his mat, with Janros sitting next to him like you first saw, just keeping watch. We don't have extra beds, but there's space.
it's all right. I've slept in worse conditions. One question. You said you occasionally, well, I don't know if robbing is the right word, but take things from certain caravans you come across, right?
Yes,
I think
Robin,
it's
it's
robbing.
technically accurate. Yeah, it's accurate.
All right. There appears to be a bag missing from the caravan.
Yes.
Do you have it?
No, I told you that already.
Then where is it?
You don't have it?
Yes. Insight check if you want to.
Oh,
I mean,
actually,
I'm trying to. I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't really care. No, I'm not really. I don't have a clean vest.
I'll say that, well, whoever has the bag has probably the answer to your brother's affliction.
Well, if you want to help, go find them then.
You don't seem to be very.
I can't leave
Interested.
him. And that is the hardest you've heard this little gnome man's voice this whole time. There was very much a period at the end of that sentence.
Has his brother's condition changed at all?
No, he's been like this since yesterday.
No change at all. Like it doesn't get worse. Something like that.
Mm-mm.
Do we get any inclination of him hiding something about the bag or whoever might have it?
So, whose insight is highest? Echo and Abby, with your higher insights. His number one concern is his brother.
Yeah.
You gather that when he says that something went down that was bad and they grabbed their brother and booked it, there's a good chance that's exactly what they did.
Mm.
Might you have any idea? Wow, what's that English? Do you maybe have any idea where that bag could be? Who could have taken it? Did you see anything else? Notice anything strange?
We're not the only ones or things in these woods.
Obviously not.
Anything might have taken it. The tree striders sometimes come this far out.
Tree striders? What's that?
Self-appointed protectors, I suppose you could say.
Like walking trees or?
No, like you or I, but based out of Hearthfire, about another day's journey. They sometimes come out this far, just patrol. Different caravans come through here. Not
Protectors
all of them nice.
Have you thought about contacting someone from a bigger settlement, someone who might know about these kinds of curses?
There's a reason we're out here. We have no desire to be in contact with anyone in the settlements.
Are you wanted?
Yeah,
There's just a very slight smile at that.
Fair enough.
I mean,
liking them more.
what's more important? I mean, the life of your brother, or you guys like not being
I
incarcerated
can't
or
help
anything?
my brother much if I'm sent to the mines. Now, can I?
Mines are not so bad.
Roll credits.
We've come from the mines.
I know.
What is?
And he looks up and points to the pickaxe that's still on Henry's back.
It's actually not on my back. Sorry.
Oh, well, you and
I was out of thin air.
yeah, you and Echo have them. So one of y'all.
I don't think that whatever ails your friend, brother, sorry, I'm confusing it, can be cured in the woods. Maybe you might have a better chance in Beacon. It's just like I'm not trying to convince you of what you don't want to do, but just laying it out, you know. And you seem to have a knack for illusions. You can certainly hide in a big city.
I can do like a. Well, I mean, let's just say that there's a reason we are sent here. Do fairly well in a city, but we can do small things like that hole. I can't make myself disappear.
So let me get this straight. You were just gonna sit here? Do nothing? Or wait
Sit
for some
here,
people to come along, like us?
make sure he has water, make sure he's warm. I mean, we get sick. It's about the best we can do usually.
You think that's a normal sickness to just cure
No.
here in the woods?
Is it a normal sickness for you to cure where you're from?
Well, I would go and find someone who could try to fix it.
So you would suggest I just walk randomly into the world and leave my brother behind?
No, you can take him with you.
How?
Oh, I don't know.
Well,
there's a car
horse
3 miles
outside,
south.
and there's a
You have a
cart
horse.
waiting
We can give you the
for us.
horse. I mean, was the cart still intact?
No.
Yeah.
Well, we sort of don't have any use for that horse. If you really would need transport, there's a horse here right outside, and that cart that has no owner anymore. So you could put your brother on the cart, you take your friend with you, and go to the nearest settlement and seek a healer.
There's just kind of this traded look with between the two brothers.
And if you're scared in the woods, we'll come with you. We're headed to our hearth. What was the name?
Hearthstone.
Hearthfire.
Hearthfire.
Hearthfire. Yeah.
Yeah, Hearthstone's a video game.
Oh.
Trademark. And there's this like silent conversation that passes between siblings before they turn to
Well, you
Okay.
guys talk out your options. I'm gonna head outside and scan
Just
the
said okay.
surroundings for that rock that we found earlier. So yeah.
Just said okay.
Okay.
We have a busy
Um,
day tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
And the two brothers kind of go over to the third one. One of them puts the hair back. It's like, it'll be okay. Friends? And they both kind of look at each other with this question mark after that word. We'll get you to someone. And then they just sit in silence with their brother. Anything else you four would like to do before we end this night?
Yep. I would like to replenish on granola and sleep probably on the roof if that's possible, while looking if the rock is close or not.
You could get onto the top of the rock face. It's not tall.
I can also fly.
Yeah. It's only like 10, 15 feet up. Easy. So yeah, you can sleep on there. The roof is slanted, so that would be hard to sleep on.
Oh,
You
okay.
can sleep on top of that ledge.
Which rock?
I would like to, when it's my watch at least. I would still probably like to stand watch outside here, and periodically scan the surroundings for a rock if I can, or more horses or something like that.
All right.
Rocks everywhere.
Are you going to take turns on watch, or is it just Abby? What are you all doing?
Sure.
Yeah, let's take turns. I mean, I'm not very good at this, but
Okay, so group perception check, please. Every single one of you.
That's an 8.
8 for
13.
Henry, 23 for Echo. Damn. You're rolling well tonight, Alex.
Yes.
13 for Ebby, and 21 for Shaw. Jesus, guys. Henry, I'm just going to say that your watch order is the order that you rolled. It's not that important. Then 8. It's been an interesting day.
Oh, I'm tired.
You just kind of sit outside, and your mind immediately just starts drifting to dragons and dragon birds and dragons coming out of the sky and the excitement that would come with that. And pretty soon you realize that your watch is over. I haven't noticed anything. Echo, while you're outside, you see the horse dozing in front of you. You hear music. very faint, from deeper into the woods, further to the west.
Full moon rave.
Do I recognize the music?
Mm-mm. You can't tell where the source is. And it sounds quite distant. It's not close at all. You're only catching it at all because you are super attuned right now.
Right. Well, which direction does the music come from? How
Deeper
far?
into the woods, towards the west.
Towards
You
the
have
west.
no idea on distance, but it's outside of visual distance.
Right. Okay. That's the same direction Hearthfire lies in?
Nope.
No.
Opposite.
Opposite. Okay. Well, I listen to it, but I don't do anything.
Okay.
Before I go to bed, before the rest thing, I'll do a second level animal friendship on the hippogriffs, just to
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you'll head back to the hippogriffs, who are starting to get impatient again, and you see Oreo just kind of stretching its wings a little bit. You come up and cast animal friendship again, which requires a morsel of food, it looks like. It's a material component. So you feed them a little bit.
Granola as
appropriate.
well. I start from granola. I'm going to cast more granola before I go to bed anyway.
Okay. You give them each another bit of surprisingly filling bit of granola. And they both seem, for the first time, sated.
Children.
And they both kind of calm down and kind of like these big hulking, and you know how strong they are because one of them ripped your arm open trying to get at food earlier. Almost like kittens just kind of fall on top of each other and go to sleep.
Oh.
It's kind of adorable in an oddly terrifying way.
Cute little murder beast.
Right? So yeah. Ebby, your watch. No other sign of the rock. It seemed to be just be passing by. You know it's in the area, but something that size can move pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Could be long gone by now. Watch eventually comes to an end, uneventful. Sha. As you start to come to, or you start your watch outside, everyone else sleeping inside, you just see the first ray of light coming up over the horizon. And as the light comes in through the cracks in the wall, you watch one of the bits of light start creeping up the form of the third brother that's been sleeping, rising up and up and up and up his body as the sun comes up. And as it hits the eyes, they snap open. And it is just like two pinpoints of blinding light that just fill the cabin. And that is where we will pick up in 2 weeks.
What's going on?
You'll find out in 2 weeks, but it's very bright in there right now.
2 weeks.
So, on September 26th,
Good thing I'm
6 p.m.
outside.
Central European time. Yeah, at least the person with the lowest HP is out of the room. We'll find out what happens next and what the hell's going on there. We'll see you then. In the meantime, again, we're playing using the sourcebook Supers and Sorcery by Daylight Publications, available on drivethrurpg.com. It's a complete setting with these locations. Some of the characters I've made up, some are from the book. Yeah, go check it out. It's pretty awesome. So, till then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and tell more stories. Good night.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.